My first cable hat. We will start this video with round number 9. Make sure you use a stitch marker to mark your rounds. First 2 stitches are just regular knit. Knit 1, knit 1 more, and then the pattern calls for C4B. What does that mean? It means that you will be working with 4 stitches total, and you're going to use a cable needle. So a double pointed needle. So you have these are the 4 stitches you're going to work with. You're going to split them into 2 sets of 2 stitches, and you're going to slip the first 2 stitches onto your cable needle. And C4B, B means back, so you're going to keep those 2 stitches in the back of your knitting. The remaining 2 in the set of 4, you're going to just do regular knit stitch. And then you're going to knit the 2 stitches off of the cable needle. 1 and 2. So you can see the beginning of a twist of your cable. Next 2 stitches are just regular knit. So you're just repeating the pattern K2 and C4B. So K2 is done. Now exactly same thing as you've done before. Slip 2 stitches onto the cable needle and keep it in the back. And then knit the remaining 2 stitches. 1 and 2. And now go back and knit the 2 stitches off of the cable needle. 1, 2. And repeat the pattern. K2, and then C4B again. So the 4 stitches you're going to be working with, slip the first 2 stitches onto the cable needle and keep it in the back. See, it stays in the back. You're going to ignore it and knit the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. And now we are going to knit those 2 stitches off of the cable needle. 1, 2. So you see, cables are not really that difficult to do, especially if you use chunky yarn and big needles. So just keep going and following the pattern for the rest of the round. Let's say you don't have a cable needle. What do you do? So you can actually just use your fingers, and I will show you how. So you slip off the first 2 stitches, but instead of putting them on the cable needle, you can put them on your index finger. Then knit the next 2 stitches, and now slip the stitches from your finger back to the needle and knit them. So you see, even if you don't have a cable needle, you can still get away without using it. In this particular case, because we're using big needles, they're very similar in thickness to the thickness of of an average finger, so we're able to imitate cable needle with just our finger. So slip it back onto the needle. This cable needle just serves as a temporary holder for the stitches, but you don't have to use a cable needle. You can even use a pencil. You can use an extra set of circular needles, and they don't even have to be exactly same size. And then we're just finishing off this round. Make sure you do use a stitch marker for this pattern. It just makes it much easier to see when you're at the end of the round. And I just like to use just a piece of yarn in a contrasting color. So we're done with our first cable round, and that's row 9 in the pattern. So follow the pattern for rows 10 to 12, and now we will demonstrate row 13. So row 13 is C4F. So again, we're working with 4 stitches, except F means that they will stay in the front. So first 2 stitches stay on the cable needle in the front. Next 2 stitches get knit just in a regular way. And now we are going to keep knitting with the stitches off of the cable needle. So you can see the only difference between C4B and C4F is that when you're holding the stitches, they're staying in the back for B and in the front for F. So again, slip 2 stitches onto the cable needle, keep it in front of you, C4F, knit the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and now knit the stitches off of the cable needle. This is followed by K2. So 1, 2. And again we have C4F. Slip the first 2 stitches onto the cable needle, keep it in front of you, knit the next 2 stitches, knit the 2 stitches off of the cable needle, and then K2, knit 2. So if you don't have a cable needle handy, again, there's a workaround. Slip the stitches, and in this case, it's easier to put it on your thumb because it's closer to the front. You knit the next 2 stitches, then put the stitches from your thumb back onto the needle, and now you can knit them. 1, 2. So this is followed by K2, 1, 2. And again, just keep following the pattern, and that's all there is to it. This is a very easy cable pattern. As you can see, cables are not so difficult to do as long as you use chunky yarn and big needles. And after this, you can experiment with more complicated cables. So after row 13, you can really see that cable showing. And this is what a finished hat looks like.